Hello, my name is Yimkum I Ozukum. I am 28 years old and I'm currently residing in Dimapur. I'm from Sangazi village, which is located about 30 minutes from Hokchung town. But I'm right now currently residing in Dimapur. Regarding my educational qualifications, I did my high school from St. Mary's Higher Secondary School, my classes 11 and 12 from Pranab Vidyapith Higher Secondary School in science stream, and my civil engineering degree from BITS Pilani, Rajasthan. I graduated in the year 2017, and ever since then I've been preparing for the NPSC exams as well as the UPSC exams. In the year 2019, I could get into the Nagaland Secretariat Service, and the next year I got into the Nagaland Civil Service. For the past almost 3 years, I was working as an extra assistant commissioner, and I was posted in Peran district. And finally, this year I could get into the UPSC as All India rank 203, and I think that sums up my educational qualifications. So yeah.
So, before moving to the main conversation, tell us your something like how you grow up. Tell us about your childhood, how you grow up.
I had a pretty normal childhood, not nothing special, and I was fortunate enough to not encounter any accidents in the family or any unfortunate deaths in the family. We are a very small family, family of four. My mom and dad, me, and a small brother. And like I said, it's a very ordinary story for me. I don't have any special things to say. Just that I had a very normal upbringing, nothing special. So yeah, I'll just end there.
Mr. Yimkum I Ozukum, you are the history. You created the history. It's not an easy task to clear these kind of examination, right? So tell us something like when did you make the decision that you can go appear the civil service examination, and what were the inspiration that drew behind your
Right.
decision?
I think civil services, the aspirations for the civil service exams has always been ingrained in me especially by my parents, as well as teachers. And of course, when you are very young, you don't take it very seriously. But especially when I was in college, and my seniors who had graduated and who had passed the exam, they were a source of motivation for me. And so I started researching into the civil services, its opportunities, the ways you can serve the people, as well as serve yourself in a way. So researching into those things really inspired me, seeing the success stories, and also officers, selected officers who could do a lot of things for the improvement of the society. So I think those stories, those anecdotes, really encouraged me to try to attempt this exam. And especially the people from my village, my well wishers. We have had so many officers, so many people cracking the exam. Especially we have from my village, we about 3 people so far have cracked the UPSC. So they were a constant source of inspiration. See those officers, and yeah. Once I graduated, I just decided to go into the mode of preparation, and I think yeah, about 5 years. I think about 5 years I kept preparing for the exam, and yeah, and that brings us to the present.
So during this time, what kind of preparation and sacrifice you made for the exam? Suppose talking about your time management, dieting, and
Right,
study
right,
hours. Could you please walk us through about your daily schedule while
Right.
preparing during the exam?
So when I graduated in 2017, I was given two choices by my parents. One was to stay for a year in Delhi, attend coaching classes, get a paying guest accommodation. But I decided that I liked the home environment better. I like to be surrounded by family. I like to be surrounded by friends, relatives, well-wishers. So that I think that factor played a very important role in me choosing to just come home and study. Also, nowadays you don't have to be physically present in the coaching in the coaching classes. You can virtually, even you can virtually attend classes from the comfort of your home. So with the rise of the popularity of the internet, those kind of facilities became easily accessible, not just for me but for a lot of people. So yeah, those kind of facilities, those kind of sources, I think they formed a big part of my study strategy. Also, there's obviously you need to work hard for this exam, and there's no hard and fast rule. There's no secret to cracking the exam except to work hard. But working hard is one thing, but you also have to work smartly.
Yes.
You have to have a proper strategy. So before going deep into the exam, I tried to formulate a strategy on how to go about preparing for the exam. One was to refer the past question papers for the about 5 or 6 years of question papers that I referred, and getting an idea of the kind of questions and also the level of questions that UPSC would ask. So that gave me a perspective, you can say, of what the UPSC is expecting the candidate to know.
Okay.
So the kind of knowledge, the kind of awareness that UPSC wants of the candidate. So referring those past papers really helped, as well as making making notes of whatever I studied. Of course, making notes was that was not my first step, and I feel like I should have started making notes from the get-go. But I only started making notes in my third attempt. So I feel like I should have made notes earlier. No. The thing about note making is that the syllabus is so vast. No. So when the exam comes, you have to revise everything, because recollection, the power of recollection, remembering facts, is also a very big part of the exam. So having notes helps you revise things quickly. No, because you can't just go through numerous textbooks in a span of a few days. No?
Yes.
So making notes is very important. And another important thing is revising. You have to keep revising whatever you have studied. So I read in an article that the human brain can remember a piece of information for about 3 or 4 days. And if you don't go through that piece of information again, you tend to forget. No. So what the scientist says is, if you keep revising a single piece of information about every 2-3 days, just for about 3 or 4 times, then that piece of information gets lodged in your brain, and you there's very low chance that you will forget that information. No? So revision has been a very big part of the preparation strategy, as well as keeping my resources very limited, because when you look at the UPSC syllabus, it's quite endless, to be honest. And for a topic such as current affairs, there's every day new things come, new schemes, new international meetings. No, so these things you have to always keep a track of. No, so making notes and revising whatever you have studied, especially for current affairs, just keeping updated with the latest goings on. I think just to sum up in a few points, I would say that was my strategy. And also using the help of technology, such as I would make notes on my laptop, and you don't even have to carry a lot of books. You just have to carry a single laptop, and all your books you can just convert it into PDF. You can get PDF versions of every textbook available online. So leveraging the help of leveraging technology, I think really made my strategy very flexible as well as very convenient. So yeah, I think that was, in short, the strategy.
So, talking about preparation strategy,
Right.
do you really think it's very much necessary for any UPC aspirants to enroll in the coaching center and prepare for the exam?
I mean, uh, of course, everyone is different. No, everyone is different. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, has their own capabilities as well as shortcomings. But I just want to say that it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Of course, it's good. It's good to get all the help that is out there. No, because coaching is a sort of mentorship program. You are directly guided by personally guided by the exam experts on how to go about things. No, so it's a good thing to avail coaching as well, but it's also very possible to get through the exam without the facility of coaching, because, like I said, there's the with the with the advent of the internet, you can even attend these classes virtually from your home. So of course it helps. It helps. I'm not denying that it is it is it's completely useless. Of course, coaching very much helps, and even personally, I have also availed coaching materials. But when I say coaching, I mean just going to Delhi, staying in a rented accommodation, attending coaching classes. So that is not necessary as such. But of course, like I said, everyone is different. Everyone has different ways of going about things. So some may like the classroom environment, some may like the comfort of their homes. So that is just a disclaimer that I'd like to put forward.
I think mental health plays a very vital role
Right.
in human life.
Right.
So, talking about mental preparation, how it was so important.
One thing that really helped me was the constant support and motivation of my parents as well as well-wishers. So, like I said, when you prepare for this exam, it's not advisable to just keep to yourself, just become a sort of recluse. No, just stay inside your room and keep studying. It's not very advisable. You have to communicate your problems with your mentors, with your parents, and especially God. No, you can always pray to God. But that being said, having a good mindset is also very important. Having good mental power, willpower. No, of course, the UPSC exam is a very grueling process, and everyone has the capability of cracking it. But of course, it is not the same for everyone. Some It might take just 1 year of preparation. It might take 5 years of preparation. It really depends. It really depends on the person. No, some people might not like the idea of wasting. I mean, wasting is a very strong word, but let me just replace the word wasting by spending a lot of years of their 20s preparing for this exam. That idea might not be very appealing to them, because they can use their talents in much better avenues. No, so realizing one's capability is also very important, because if you get into something and you're not interested in that, you tend to lose focus. You tend to get frustrated. So when you will reach a point once you graduate, whether to go for such exams or whether to look for self-employment, look at entrepreneurship opportunities. So knowing oneself, knowing one's strengths and weaknesses is very important. And like I said, willpower, having that good mental strength, no, is very much a part of the UPSC journey. Because UPSC not just tests the candidates' intellectual ability, but also the mental strength, like perseverance, never give up attitude. That is also a very important part of the journey.
Now that you have cracked one of the toughest examination, not just in India but in the entire world, What is your dream? What's your next step after this?
I think getting into the All India service is a huge responsibility. There's a lot more challenges waiting for me, and it's not just on a state level, but also on a national level, and maybe at times at international levels. So those challenges, to overcome those challenges, you need to prepare yourself again. So overcoming those challenges is the next step for me. Doing justice to the tag of being a civil servant. So just in short, that is my next target.
So, like, what is that one work principle you will always hold while serving the people in any parts of the country?
I think just being a civil servant, you're expected to first and foremost give priority to the public. So just understand their problems, understand if the proper schemes are being implemented, if the incentives are reaching to their doorsteps. So that is something I'm genuinely interested in, knowing that the last rupee is that the last rupee goes into the poorest of the poor. That is just something that I am very much focused in, public service delivery. And, of course, being civil servants, you're expected to be honest. Your integrity has to be very rigid. You have to be transparent in your dealings, and you have to be punctual. You have to remain in your station. You have to, even if it's not the office hours, if there is a public service, if there is an emergency of any kind, then you're supposed to be the first person to reach that location, to reach that location where the emergency has occurred. So, just those are just, of course, they are expected of every officer, but sometimes in life, the easiest things can be the hardest. So that's. I hope that I can inculcate those qualities in my work career, and hopefully become role models for the young generation.
That's a very strong principle you have been holding. I really hope and pray that a person like you can make a really difference in the society in the future. So let's talk about our state Nagaland.
Right.
So, like, looking at the past and the current situation of Nagaland, our society has been fragmented because of so many different ideas and approaches.
Right.
What exactly do you think we need at this hour to rebuild a greater Nagaland? What kind of collective role play we need from every stakeholder in the state to achieve the status we're always fighting for?
Right.
If you get the opportunity to serve in Nagaland, what will be the first social changes you want to adopt?
I think if the question is about what ails the Naga society right now, I think obviously I should say tribalism. I think tribalism is a big issue in the state. We are, I think, first of all, members of our own community, and only then we are Nagas.
Yes,
so I think that mind should change. At the end of the day, we are all Nagas, we are all Indians, we are all brothers and sisters, and Nagaland is celebrated as a very diverse state because we have so many different languages, we have so many different cultures, we have so many different languages. So instead of segregating ourselves into different communities, fighting against each other, instead of doing that, if we celebrate our diversity, I think that is the first step, I should say, towards moving forward into a more developed state. And of course, the problems of corruption, the problems of very poor infrastructure in the state, it is always going to be a problem in the not just in the short run but also in the long run. And those are things which can't be solved in an instant. It needs the help of not only the government but also the last person in the village, so to say. So decentralization is a must. I feel. I think right now, of course, we have the village councils in the villages, but their financial powers, their powers of discretion are very low. So if a little bit more decentralization can be done, because at the end of the day, the officers are not, they don't live in the villages, no. It is the villagers themselves who know their problems best. So I think if some amount of power can be given to them, I think we'll see some positive changes, just like what Kerala has done. Kerala has performed really well, and I think one of the reasons why Kerala is performing really well in all the indexes that bodies like Niti Aayog has the indexes, Niti Aayog indexes, is because of decentralization. I feel so when there's decentralization, there's less concentration of power, which means less corruption. So I think that is one avenue where I think if something positive can be done, we will see some changes. And what was your other question?
If you get the opportunity to serve
Right,
in
right.
Nagaland, what will be the first social changes you want to adopt?
I think I've mentioned this before in other interviews. I think the most being a youth myself, I'm still in my 20s, so I understand the frustration of the Naga youth today. Even in my colony, even in my neighborhood, there's so many graduates. There's people with multiple degrees even, but the lack of opportunities in the public sector as well as in the private sector is very depressing. And we have seen the stories going around that even the post of constable in the police is very much sought after by even PhD holders in the state. So the very problematic scenario of employment in the state is something that I'd like to focus in. Of course, there's only so many government job vacancies, but there's multiple avenues in the private sector, and we can see that now. No, people are using social media platforms. People are opening their own news channels online, their own vlogging channels, cooking channels, and even they're using platforms like Instagram to open up their shops. So opening shop is a very difficult thing, no, because you need to construct a shop, you need to pay monthly rent. So such technologies give the people a very cheap and easy way to access the public as well as the market. So those are just, of course, those are there's still a lot more avenues, but I think if officers, if the policymakers, if they come together and try to just finds a permanent solution to this employment problem, I think that will be a very big first step. And of course, the second step is to improve the level of infrastructure, at least the roads. I am still posted in the Insong. The name of my posting place is called Insong. So because of the very poor road condition in the area, what happened was, I think it was even in the local dailies last year, one incident happened. Because of the lack of proper roads, vehicles were not able to ply. So what the villagers did was, for a very seriously ill patient, they tied the patient on a bamboo ball, and they tried to carry the patient all the way from their village to the hospital. So those things, of course, it's not just happening in Insong. It's happening all throughout Nagaland in the very remote locations. So having proper roads is, I think, the first step towards making the state developed. So that is in terms of infrastructure development. That is one very important avenue which I feel very strongly about.
What do you think of the naga experience preparing for any kind of civil service exam but
Right.
couldn't able to get through.
Right, right.
What advice or message you would like to give them?
Yeah, I think an aspirant has to give his fullest when he's uh, giving the exam. No, just time pass preparation, time pass giving the exam, because everyone, your friends are giving the exam, your seniors are giving the exam, so your parents, you know, tell you to give the exam as well. So I think the aspirant should avoid those things. If the most important thing for an aspirant is to have that understanding that he needs to crack the exam, not because of the prestige, not because of the glamour, but because the society needs him. He needs to be a good civil servant. So that should be the one understanding of the aspirant. So, and if the person does not have that understanding, I think his talents, his skills are best utilized in someplace else. So I think that is a very important decision that the candidate has to make, whether he is fully invested into the whole process. And if he is ready to take that sacrifice, he has to do so for a few years at least. Just giving the exam once or twice and failing at the exam should not be the end of your story. You should try to, if you're motivated enough, you should keep trying, because every time you learn new things, you get a different perspective. But of course, I'm not saying get completely obsessed with the exam. Know your limits. Don't give it so many times, because there's more to life than cracking an exam. Like I said, there's opportunities nowadays. It's not like the situation has completely changed. It's not like in the 90s, in the early 2000s. There's lots and lots of different fields available nowadays with the rise of this digital media. No, so if those if those facts are clearly understood by the aspirant, then the next step would be to persevere. The next step would be to keep following a strict routine, keep being consistent, and if you do those steps, I think success is only one step away.
Okay, last question. What's the magic? What's the secret behind your achievement, and what's that advice for the aspirant preparing for the competitive exams?
I think there's no hard and fast rule. Of course, people always ask the successful candidates what the secret of your success is, but it's always the classic answer: hard work, being consistent, having a strategy, because it is such a competitive exam. But I think one important factor is also the luck factor, and for the luck factor, you have to depend on God. No, but I'm not saying the luck factor is totally up to God. You know, a person makes his own luck in a way. No, if he's very smart, if he studies smartly, if he understands the nature of the exam, then he sort of creates his own luck. He sort of expects such questions will be asked, and therefore he studies in such a way that his concepts are very clear, his facts are very clear. So in a way, one makes his own luck. And I think the next step is just to give your best. Simply just to give your best, and pray that you crack the exam.
Thank you so much.